Hey everybody, it's Josie. Welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. Well, this is Labor Day. I hope everybody that has the day off is enjoying your day off. I know a lot of you are busy doing other things, and on the farm we've always got projects going. Even on days that's meant to rest from our labors, we still have to work. And so I'm canning up some grape juice here, and Blade is down at Papa, Texas, and he's grilling out using the pellet grill, and he's preparing a pork roast and some bologna. And I'm here in just a little bit, after I get this grape juice done, I've got to make some baked beans and corn and some homemade macaroni and cheese and some other things to take to our dinner. And so I thought I'd bring you along and show you this grape juice. Now on another video I'll show you making grape jelly. This is from my homemade, or from not my homemade grapes, but my homegrown grapes, and I will show you the process. Okay, so I used my steam juicer to cook down my grapes. A steam juicer just makes things so much easier. And I got I've already got 1 gallon of juice that is set back and waiting to be made into jelly. And what I have left here in the pot is going to be juice. I'm not going to be putting any sugar in it because when we open it up to use it, it's really thick, it's really tart. It's good, but it's tart, and we will dilute it with water, and whomever is making the grape juice will be able to sweeten it to their liking. Now I have to have less sugar because I'm not supposed to have a lot, and Blade likes his really sweet. So depending on who it's for is how much sugar that'll go into it. I like it that way, that we can kind of accommodate who's the one that's going to be drinking it. So I'm going to get the camera turned around and show you guys what's going on, and show you how easy it is to can up this juice. Now my jars have been sterilized, and the reason we sterilize them is because this juice is not going to be pressure canned. It's going to be in my steam canner or hot water bath canner, whichever you prefer. I'm using my steam canner, and it's going to be processed for 5 minutes. If it was processed for 10 minutes, because it's a high acid, then I wouldn't have to worry about sterilizing my jars. But because I'm processing it for 5 minutes, the jars need to be pre-sterilized. So that's already done. They're over here to the side waiting for me to get started on the project. My grapes that have cooked down are over here in the sink, and I'll show you what they look like. Here is the last batch of grapes that have cooked down. You can see that the juice is all out of them. They look kind of raisiny to me. You can see that I left stems in there. I washed them really good. I made sure that there wasn't any little critters and all that, and any kind of trash that floated up. I got all that out, but I didn't take all of the stems, and that is okay with the grapes. So we've cooked it down. I've got this, and I'm gonna just give this to my chickens. These have these grapes have seeds in them, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and let the chickens have a treat. If they were seedless, I might consider doing something else with them. And I know that even with seeds, you can run them through a food mill, but I'm not really interested in that right now. So I'm going to let the chickens have it. It's not going to go to waste at all. They'll like this, and then we'll get back to making our juice. I have my sterilized jars over here waiting to be filled, and the lids are ready. I've got everything that I'm going to need, and I'm going to simply fill the jars, wipe the rims clean, and put them over in my steam canner. And we'll get started with that. Now normally you leave the top part that I showed you that's in the sink. You leave that part on there and you empty this out. But this is my very last batch, and I was kind of afraid leaving the top on that it would block the light and you wouldn't really be able to see what I was doing. Now this tube here, this is really warm, so you want to be careful. And you can see here that there's juice in here, and this is waiting to get into the jars. And so I'm simply, now I'm being awfully brave there because that juice can be really hot, so you want to be careful. And I'm going to hold on to my jar with the pot holder I've got it on the bottom and the side, so I've got a really good grip on it, and my counter's right here, so if I have trouble I can set it on there. And I'm simply going to fill from this tube. Now hopefully this keeps this juice from having a foaming problem, and you want to hold it down. Now we're going 1/4 of an inch headspace on these. Now I'll tell you, grape juice is like beet juice. It will stain. So once I've got that, you see that there's not a lot of foaming on this, taking it straight from there. And so I'm just going to wipe the lid clean. I'm going to get one of these clean and sterilized lids and put a cap on it. Kind of warm. Get it down, and I'm going to put it right over here in my steam canner that's waiting, and I'm just going to continue to fill these jars. You want to make sure that you're not putting hot liquid into cold jars. You're going to have a thermal problem, and I got juice all over me just then. Okay, so we're going to fill another jar. Do it again. Wipe your lids really clean. Now this is pure grape juice. Like I said earlier, it's concentrated. It does not have anything but grape juice in it. But when you go to make it, I mean, you can drink it like this if you want to, but it's going to be really tart. I taste it, Blade tasted it. It definitely needs some sweet. And it's definitely strong. Now you can drink it that way without diluting it if you like it that way. We like ours a little bit less potent, maybe I should say. Okay, so we're going to do another jar. And I'm just going to keep filling these jars. My jars have cooled off even though they're sterilized, but the juice is hot, and you don't want to burn yourself. The steam juicer, when you're extracting this, it doesn't, the juice that's in here is not boiling. It's hot, it's very hot, but it's not boiling. Alright guys, I'm going to continue to do this, and when I get them all filled, I'll bring you back. Okay guys, 5 pints of homemade grape juice that I'm getting ready to put in the steam, or I have them in the steam canner. I'm going to put the lid on it, and they will process once it gets up to temperature for my area according to my steam canner. They will process for 5 minutes, and then I'll turn the fire off and I'll let them set for 5 minutes, and then I'll be able to move them to a cloth to finish cooling off. Then I can wash the jars, take the rings off and wash that, make sure those are good and clean, that I've got a good seal. That can be stored until we're ready to make grape juice, and it'll be a good addition to our pantry. Well, we finished our 5-minute processing time, and they've set for 5 minutes inside the steam canner, and now the lid's off, and I'm going to leave them here to cool for a little while because I've got other projects that need to be done today. But I've got 5 jars that'll be delicious this winter. Alrighty, there you have it. 5 jars of homemade grape juice ready to put on the shelf to enjoy this winter. from my busy Labor Day kitchen. I got to get going on these baked beans and the corn and what else did I say? Oh, macaroni and cheese that we got to take down to Granny and Grandpa's. So we got this done, and we're going to move on to the next thing. I hope you guys have a nice Labor Day weekend. Those of you that are in the midst of cleaning up from the hurricane and all of the other things that's going on, I wish you guys well. This is Josie, guys. I love you. I really do. Until next time, we're gone.